Before we begin, I want to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land this podcast has been recorded on, the Quandamooka people. I'm lucky enough to live on Quandamooka country, and I pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging, as well as to all First Nations people who have been caretaking this land for millions of years. And welcome back to the Well Business Podcast. How are you today? I am in Brisbane. I'm not sure if many of you know that, but we are facing a significant weather event at the moment. We've been home now since Thursday. It's been an interesting time. I am grateful that the predicted cyclone was not as forceful as some experts had said it would be. However, we are now facing the aftermath, which is quite significant and causing some issues to our regular day-to-day life and our community that we live in. So it felt a bit strange to be sharing the podcast that I planned to this morning. So I thought I would do something a little bit different that is more befitting of the situation many of us are waking up to find ourselves in today. Schools have been cancelled again the third day. So I, like many of you, will be facing a day at home trying to work around my kiddos. So I want to chat about how I manage that today. But first, I did just want to check in, because that's what we do here. We check in on ourselves and each other and see how we are going in the face of the stress and the juggle and the burnout that we face in our life. I've done 2 Monday check-ins so far. The first was around taking a break when we need it, going out and looking at the sky or the trees, or just doing something that makes you feel really good inside. And the second was about box breathing. And I've got some lovely little clips of people giving their box breathing a go. I would love you now to consider, have you been kind to yourself in the last week or 2 weeks? Have you taken breaks when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Have you perhaps tried to breathe, to settle yourself when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed? If not, that's okay too. That's what we're here for. We're here for accountability and checking in on ourselves and others. So if you have lost your way when it comes to wellness at work in the last couple of weeks, it's not too late to reset. Start from today. Start from tomorrow. Start whenever you decide you are ready to work in a new way, in a better way. And let me know how that goes. So back to today's check-in. As I mentioned, I'm in Brisbane and the kids are not going to school today due to safety reasons. And I know a lot of families are waking up and feeling overwhelmed at the idea of having to get done everything they usually need to get done on a Monday for work, while also entertaining, taking care of, and stopping fights between their children. It's also been a hard few days with the rolling news reports and unknown, weather is unpredictable. So I know I'm feeling tired, overstimulated, itchy to get back to work, but also stressed about what that might entail. Am I going to be traveling in bad weather? Can I get to where I need to be? When school's opened, will the roads be flooded? Because I am living quite far away from school at the moment for the kids. And until then, I'm facing yet another day at home with the kids, cooped up in the house. It's a lot. I need a plan. And my plan today has come about due to my experience of working from home around my kids since my youngest was about 3 months old. I also have a neurodiverse kid, as you would know if you've listened to a few other episodes. So that child is definitely not one that would stay in the lounge room when I ask them to not come into the office because I'm on a meeting. They are definitely the type of kid that would run through naked in the background of that meeting, having chosen that exact 30 minutes while I was on that meeting to do a poo and need to announce it to everyone. I have failed a lot, obviously, when it comes to working around the kids. And from this failure, I have found some things that work and some things that don't. So based on my experience, today's Monday check-in is about how to be kind to yourself and your children today, or any day when you find you have to juggle work and kids. My first number one tip is to write your schedule for the day. Get the kids involved, pop it on a whiteboard, a piece of paper, a piece of cardboard. If they can't read yet, draw little pictures, add timings, put it all up. Because a kid that doesn't know what's coming next is a stressed kid. That's why they love school so much. If they know exactly what's going to happen next, what to expect, when they're going to get their treats, when they're going to be doing some work or some time off screens, then it makes the whole day a lot smoother and easier to handle. It's really hard to argue with a kid to get off a TV just because you say so. But if you've written a schedule that TV time is between 11 and 12, and now it's after 12 and it's time to do something else, it's a lot easier to have that discussion with them. And allow them to tick it off as you move through it. My little guy loves ticking things off on our schedules for the day. I also encourage you to find time in that schedule to connect with them, because that's all kids really want when they're playing up. They really just want your time or attention. So make sure you put in time throughout your day where you'll be turning off your screen, putting down your computer, and spending just 5 minutes, 10 minutes of undivided attention, connection with them. And make sure you're doing things that you don't find annoying too. I love puzzles, so we'll be puzzling. I don't mind colouring and craft and working through them with an exercise book on some writing or math problems. I do not like Barbies. I'll be making sure that we have plenty of time doing colouring together, puzzling together, moving our bodies. And then when it's time for me to go back to work, they'll feel their cup is full and they'll be happy to move on to the next item on their to-do list. As I just mentioned then, moving your body and their bodies is so important. I've spoken about this before. Sometimes some things that we like to do include a handstand competition, a really good game of chasey just around the house. I know it's noisy, but a game of chasey around the house is good for all of you. Even you'll be smiling at the end of it. And even a dance break could help. Can you have a dance party while you make lunch? Can you have a dance party while you make dinner? Little times of movement throughout the day will increase their happiness, fill their cup, and also fill your cup and make you feel a lot better at work too. Now it's your turn, because you've got things to do as well, and you need to be realistic. So once you've planned the kids' day, I want you to plan your day and not overcook it. You will not be your most productive self today or any day you're juggling the kids and home. You can still get things done, especially if you've got important things to do. So make sure you use a really good plan to get through your day and don't try and do too much. There's a really good rule about having a successful to-do list. It's called the 1-3-5 rule. Have 1 major task, 3 medium tasks, and 5 small tasks that you know you need to get done today. I'd probably say that's even going to be too much on a day when you've got the kids at home, so you might want to cut this list down to 1, 2, and 3. What is the 1 major thing that you need to get completed? What are 2 medium things you can do to keep things moving? And what are 3 small tasks? Maybe some things that are niggling on your mind or in the back of your mind that you'd like to get done today. Once you plan it out, write it down. and don't try and do too much more than this if you do get through it. Because spreading yourselves too thin, and the days that you suffer and the people around you suffer as well. So don't try and get 3 things done. Don't try and get big things done quickly either, because you'll just have to go back and redo it tomorrow. Focus on getting your one major thing done really well for today. And then be kind to yourself today and every day. This will pass, as the saying goes. But when you're in the moment, it's so important that we are kind to ourselves first. Good luck today if you're in the same boat that I am in. And I will see you back here next week for a Monday check-in or even a Wednesday episode where I talk about burnout this week. Thank you so much for being here. Sending you love and hope and joy.